This is One on One. There he is, the one, the only, Warner Wolf. You can hear him every morning on WABC. Imus in the morning, 6 to 10 a.m. Warner Wolf is there. How you doing, Warner?
Good. Having fun still.
Still, after,
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It says 35 years, but then it says you've been doing it for more than that.
50.
That's not possible.
Oh, yeah. April Fool's Day, 1961.
Where were you? How did it happen?
Oh, Pikeville, Kentucky. I had graduated college, American University, got out of the service, finished the service, and I knew this is what I wanted to do. I had known since I was 7. I used to listen to every radio show there was, every sports event, and there was no television, or if you can imagine that. So I put an ad in Broadcasting Magazine and said, a college graduate, military obligation fulfilled, money not the object. So we'll travel. So I got these 3 answers: Pikeville, Kentucky, Miami, Ohio, not Florida.
Got it.
And Terre Haute, Indiana. So I said, well, I've got to decide. They're interested. Oh, I said no experience, professional. Anyway, one guy calls me from Pikeville. He says, if you come down here, I'll teach you everything. I'll give you the whole business. He says, I just have 2 questions. Yes, sir. He says, do you drink and have you ever been in jail? So
That's the criteria.
Yeah, that was it. So I said, well, I have a beer once in a while, but I've never been in jail. Just boom, you're hired. And the man kept his word. I was the sportscaster, the newscaster, the disc jockey. We did obituary shows. I was the morning guy, as usual, when you start out. The way we checked the weather was you'd go out in the back and there would be this ruler and you'd measure the rainfall. So you'd tell them how much, But it was great. And I had to change my name, too, by the way.
You did?
Yeah,
It was not Warner Wolf?
No. He said, Warner. What is this? He says, I never heard of the name. I said, wait a minute. Warner Brothers, Warner Baxter was an old...
That's right, we're not in New York.
Yeah. No, he says, I want you to go home and get a name. I came back and I said, how about Robin? He says, Robin? That's a girl's name. I said, no. I said, Robin Roberts. You never heard of the pitcher? No. So I came back. I said, I got one. Jay. He said, what do you mean, Jay? I said, J-A-Y. Jay Wolf. No. He said, it sounds like the letter. He says, give me another name. Came back. I said, how about Ken? That's it.
Ken?
Ken.
Ken what?
Ken Wolf.
Get out of here.
No. So for a half a year, I was Ken Wolf. And you had to walk down the street as Pikeville. There were only 5,000 people then. Guy would yell out, and everybody knows who you are in a small town.
Right.
Hey, Ken. I'd keep walking because I thought I was talking to somebody else.
Well, let me tell you something. Here in New York, we're right outside 66th and Broadway, the Tisch WNT studios. Warner Wolf, they don't yell out Ken, they yell out Warner. And they also yell out, give me a break.
That's
Or
right.
they yell out, let's go to the videotape.
Yeah.
All right, I got to do this because we got an
sure.
8-minute segment here.
Yeah.
Which one did you do first?
Oh, let's go the videotape came
What
first.
year? What was the circumstance?
Oh, 1968. I'm working at WTOP television in Washington.
Right. Before you come to New York, because that's where you're big first. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was in radio 8 years before I was ever on television, and 15 years in the business before I ever came to New York. So one night, I'm doing the 11 o'clock news, and we used to get film. There wasn't a lot of videotape. You get film highlights from the 11 o'clock feed, we used to call it, the syndication. So there's a basketball game, and I said, I used to give the normal cues, oh, take a look at this. Here's Kareem, or here's Wilt, and nothing happens. And the camera's still on me. I said, well, you got to see this, and nothing. So finally I said, hey, let's go to the videotape. Boom, comes up after the show. The producer, Ernie Bowery, says, that was great. He says, I was doing 10,000 things, but when I heard you say, let's go to the videotape, boom, punch it up. He said, do it tomorrow night.
That's where it was born?
That's how it happened. Kept doing it. So it was just by accident.
I got to tell you something. Every time I'm here and I say, let's go to the videotape, I'm going, wow, I'm stealing Warner right here. Everybody does it.
Oh, that's fun.
It's beautiful. By the way, Warner and I worked together a few years back with Curtis and Kuby, WABC, and that studio was wild.
That was great.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Also, when I was subbing there, Warner got me through a lot of tough times when I had nothing to say on the air.
Is that possible?
Yes. Give me a break.
Oh, give me a break.
Give me a break.
Yes. When watching a Redskin game against...
Give me the year. Washington again?
Yes. This was about 1967.
Right.
And I used it for radio first. So the Lions are playing the Redskins, and there was a terrible call against the Redskins. And so I went on the air, and I said, come on. Actually watching, I said, come on, ref, give me a break. And somebody said, hey, that's funny. That's good. So I went on the air the next day, and it was television. I showed the play. I said, come on, give us a break. And that caught, hey, come on, give me a break. So that's...
I got to ask you, because, again, having worked with Warner in the past and now doing a lot of work for another radio station, WOR, and you helped me get my start with those guys, Curtis and Kuby. But I got to tell you, I still love this. There's nothing like doing this and radio stuff. But after 50 years, I'm curious, how are you still as passionate as you are? Because you have not lost this much.
Oh, you have to be excited about it.
You don't have to be. You choose to be.
Well, my father was a vaudevillian. And one thing, he gave me a lesson. He said, you know, son, he said, there are no matinees. What he meant by that is, in the old days of vaudeville, you used to have Wednesday matinees and Saturday matinees. You still do. And sometimes the big stars would say, yeah, I'm too sick, I can't show up on Wednesday, or they just go through the motions. He said, there are no matinees, and you don't know who's listening to you or watching you for the first time. I said, you're right. So every show, you've got to get up. I mean, how long is, 5 minutes at best, you can't get up? You know, the people don't want to hear your problems, they have their own problems. So you take them away from anything that ails them for about 5 minutes.
You never know who's watching. You know, so
no.
Next show we're actually taping after this is with our good friend Dr. Bill Baker, the president emeritus of WNET. He's the one who discovered Oprah, brought her.
Oh.
Down in Baltimore.
Sure.
You never know who was watching then.
That's
Meaning
right.
You never know.
No.
No matter what you're doing, where you are.
No.
Matinee, what time. People say it's a crappy shift. Who's going to be listening?
Oh, no. No, you can't. If you have that attitude, you better get out now. There's no question about it. You've got to be excited about it. Man, but I keep doing it. I mean, it's like great for the mind. You have to keep your mind active.
And Warner's mind is very active every morning on WABC, right?
Yes, WABC.
And what are the hours again?
6 to 10 a.m.
With that guy, what's his name?
Don Imus.
Speaking about shy and retiring guys every morning, and
yeah, there you go.
You keep them going.
Well, I don't know about that.
You check it out, and Warner, it is an honor to have you.
Oh, this is great.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Steve Adubato here from the Tisch WNET studios. We got passion here. I know that. We'll be right back right after this. Thank you.
This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Caldwell College, New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and banking under the principle of stewardship. QUALCARE, Inc., a local managed care company covering 750,000 New Jersey residents. And by Verizon Communications. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and NorthJersey.com. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.